All over our cities, along our coastlines and across our green and pleasant land, an invisible army is fighting a never-ending war. Their enemy is the filth that we create, the vermin that thrive on it. Welcome to the hidden world of the Grimefighters. On Grimefighters tonight, at a house clearance in Newcastle, it's a bug's life and it's all over now.
Look at the size of that, 4 bit of lava, I'd say. The whole place will need fumigating.
Drain duo Bill and Simon release a new fragrance, Eau de Dagenham.
Oh, yes. All right, very full.
In a Wolverhampton kebab shop, Faye fingers the problem.
This is probably one of the worst seals that I've seen. I've never really been able to scrape dirt off like that.
And a Swindon tunnel reveals its dirty secrets.
What the general public don't realise is what they throw in will eventually come down here.
But first, in Newcastle, council enforcement officers are investigating a potential health risk. And the team, led by Tracy, soon discover there's nothing potential about this one.
So this is a property that we've had reported to us that's supposed to be filthy and verminous, supposed to be a lot of faeces, so we're going to go in and do an assessment. We've got our contractor here to give us a quote.
An elderly couple live here and they've had to move out. Tracy's task is to assess the situation and take action.
It smells filthy, smells like faeces.
Rotting food,
just general dirt and rottenness.
Even for this team, it's one of the worst cases.
There's bags of rubbish all over. There's a build-up of grime on the floor. What appears to be used toilet roll all over the place. The bath appears to be full of toilet roll. Appears to be faeces on the wall here. Obviously transferred from someone's hand.
And the kitchen's no better.
Well, obviously there's been a fire in here at one point. You can see the walls and ceiling are black with smoke. The front of the cooker has melted. I'm guessing that's from the fire as well. Just generally filthy. The fridge door's missing, but they've still been using the fridge. Food's starting to rot in there. I'm not opening the freezer.
Tracy can only wonder who would live like this.
They couldn't cope due to maybe age or being infirm or unwell, and people often don't want to ask for help, so they get into this state and they can't see a way out of it, so it just gets worse and worse and worse. So hopefully we'll be fit to step in and get the necessary people involved.
Next door, Tracy makes a bizarre discovery.
Well, you do have to wonder why there's so many soft toys here, but lots of people collect lots of different things. If that's this person's hobby, then that's their hobby. Who are we to judge?
Whatever it is, it's not a teddy bear's picnic. Now the property has to be cleared and made safe. But it's not that easy.
The legislation that we're doing it under doesn't allow us to dispose of everything, because obviously they're people's personal possessions. It only allows us to dispose of things that are prejudicial to health or unwholesome or harmful to health.
What you would class as rubbish somebody else has treasured for a long, long time. It is difficult sometimes.
Okay, it's not very good in here. Obviously this is the fridge door that has come out of the kitchen. There's a lot of cuddly toys, a huge amount of cuddly toys.
Bears at one moment, and now it seems a flea circus.
I think I've just been bitten on the leg, so there's every chance that there is some sort of pest in here, possibly fleas or something.
Tracy decides that swift action has to be taken.
We want to get the tenants moved back in here as quickly as possible, and we need to get the property cleaned up, because if there are pests or vermin in here, we need to get them eradicated, so as they don't start spreading down the block.
In Dagenham, sewage team Simon and Bill answer a distress call.
Barney Day from Council, you called about a sewer block?
Yes, please.
OK, come in.
Yes, thank you.
And there's no doubt their response has been welcomed.
Did you want a coffee?
I'll have a coffee. Two sugars.
I have a coffee black with none.
Bill and Simon are old sparring partners.
You ain't going to put it in there, Bill, it'll just break. You don't get the lever.
So demanding, isn't he, eh?
He's had 2 weeks off, he's come back full of beans.
Terrible.
Oh, yes.
And as you can see, it is full.
It'll be gone in a minute. What we're going to do now, we're going to trace it back. We're going to go to the interceptor. There'll be a couple of doors down, it'll be in the front garden. And then we're going to check, see if that's full. And then if that's full, we'll try and unblock it from there, and then we'll work our way back.
There's a job to be done, but Bill can't help taking the mick.
She's just bought a BMW. That's what it is. And now, he's washed it all weekend, didn't you?
Yeah. You had to mention that, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to mention that. He washed it all weekend and it's poured down the rain. And he polished it. Right.
Bingo!
It don't seem to be blocked here, no.
It's like unblocking an artery, and Bill prepares to operate.
It's like being a surgeon. Can I practice on you, Simon?
Nurse, scalpel please. In Wolverhampton, restaurant inspectors John and Faye are revisiting a kebab shop to see if conditions have improved. They're here to find out if their earlier advice has been heeded.
Hiya. Is it Mr. Anwar? Yes. Hiya, just from Environmental Health. You just do your routine inspection.
Johnny could close down this business, but it's the owner's livelihood that's at stake. He's got to be careful.
A lot of food businesses are afraid of environmental health officers, so I think it's always good to go in with a friendly, sort of helpful attitude. A lot of the time they think that we're just sort of telling them to do stuff for the sake of it, but if you try and explain the significance of that, let them know why it's important, they tend to respond more. So it's an ideal opportunity to get them on board and try and teach them something, really. When you're doing your cleaning, don't forget your hand contact surfaces, okay? You can see here this sort of area of dirt and around the handle. Don't forget to clean areas like that. Hand contact surfaces are really important. That is the worst thing. So you're aware of that. Perhaps just tell your staff about it and get them to, when they're doing the cleaning, to make sure that they remember those areas, okay?
The owner knows his future is on the line, and when Johnny takes a closer look, that future looks in jeopardy.
So what we've got under the sink is we've got a container full of sort of festering water. I mean, it smells absolutely atrocious. It's going to be full of bacteria. That bacteria could then get onto food storage, food preparation equipment. So it's not acceptable at all.
Faye now makes a discovery that's shocking, even for someone with her experience.
Your seals are pretty, but they're hideous, aren't they? That's really, really dirty. This is probably one of the worst seals that I've seen. I've never really been able to scrape dirt off like that.
And the lack of proper hygiene doesn't end there.
We've got raw meat, above cooked items again in here. This is obviously something that has been raised on previous occasion. Your manager here, he's just said to me, every year we have an inspection and we're told that the raw meat's got to be at the bottom. Yet I'm not seeing it.
Johnny and Faye know they can't leave things as they are. This is serious.
There's still work to be done, so we might need to consider how the best way of getting those works done now, and that could mean enforcement action in this instance.
Back at the Newcastle property, a Grimefighters team, Steve and Decker, are joined by a new recruit, Jack. And it's a good thing these walls can't talk.
But this is nicotine stained.
I think the walls would have originally been this colour rather than the brown like on the outside.
I think this is probably faeces from people's hands.
There's mess everywhere, but first things first.
I'm going to start with doing the bathroom because it's a pretty bad state, plus we might be needing it during the day. So hence the reason I'm doing that first. It's my speciality. Nobody else does it.
The lads set to with all the confidence of youth. It seems the tenants were full of good intentions.
They've got quite a lot of expensive cleaning products here, but they obviously never got round to using them.
Brand new, never used.
As the team disturb the rubbish, they wish they hadn't.
I hate the smell of rotten food. It's one smell I don't like. I don't like any smell, like rotten smell, but rotten food gets me more than anything else. Like faeces and things doesn't make me feel like I want to be sick, but rotten food really catches you in the back of your throat.
And for the new boy Jack, it's a baptism of fire.
It's stinking now. There's food all over the place, dirty rubbish, stuff that's been lying there for years, so It's just disgusting, really. Some people live in houses like this, you know, so it's horrible.
No, I think the fridge and the toilets really freak everyone else out, but I actually get more satisfaction from getting them cleaned up. That's why I always do them.
That's horrible. Then how it smells. Yeah.
And is he seeing things?
Yeah. The rubbish is moving.
Something is moving, but it's not the rubbish.
I mean, look at the size of that for a bit of lava, I'd say. Be a nest in here somewhere.
Right, oh, there it is.
How many types of insect did David Attenborough say there were?
I think the larvae haven't come across them.
The whole place will need fumigating.
Oh, they're fleas. See you jumping? Now we've found fleas and beetles throughout, and that we haven't even got down into the depth of the rubbish yet.
Another nest of them. They've just been breeding.
People's been sleeping on it. It's shocking, isn't it? How people can live in this day and age like this.
There's another nest there.
Decker believes this is a war we're losing.
10 years ago, you would go in a house once, maybe twice a year to do something like this, but now it's just getting more and more common every other week.
There's been droppings found
Steve makes a new discovery.
down here. A couple of like droppings.
Further up the food chain.
Small rat or a large mouse by the look of it. I think it's probably more likely going to be a rat. Yeah.
We found this in the cupboard under the stairs. Looks like a crunchy or something. You can see the teeth marks, the rat's teeth marks in here.
And rats mean the threat of disease. So the toys are toast.
Any of the vermin or any of the insect could have been on these teddy bears and will not be aware of it. So it's just hygienic, really, to get rid of them.
Debbie can't be sentimental. In this case, toys aren't us. The team will soon be back for a deep clean. Coming up, Tracy's team take a hard line on soft furnishing. Bill and Simon show why they're a crack team. Things take a turn for the worse at the Wolverhampton Kebab shop.
Well, I found these chopping boards on the shelf there. As you can see, they're in an absolutely atrocious condition.
And under a Swindon roundabout, some hard-hat heroes are given a runaround.
We don't know what's down here, and just looking at this, we just don't know what we're going to find.
Up and down the land, a little-known army of dedicated professionals are devoted to battling an ever-advancing tide of grime. In Dagenham, Bill and Simon have struck lucky. Now, choose your weapons.
Well, you can either jet it, it's blocked at the turning chamber, you can either jet it or stick the rods up.
Let's see what we've got water-wise.
I don't know.
Okay.
Bill opts for an old favourite.
If there's any tissues or wipes down there, that will bring it back because it'll hook it, catches onto it and then drags it out.
Bill and Simon have made a rod for their own backs.
So far, how many down there? 5, wasn't it? 6. Right. So if we don't really care, we just stick them on there and stick them on there to clear it.
Right. Experience. That's what you need for a job like this.
Years of training, this is.
What, have you ever gone up?
God, then you upset me now. Well, it's probably something solid there. It could be baby wipes, it could be fat, it could be soap.
There you go.
Oh, look, wipes.
Uh-oh. No surprise. The old problem.
What it is, instead of throwing them in the rubbish bag, they just chuck them down the toilet. These are the biggest pain, and as you can see, they ain't dissolve. And what they do is they just go all solid, and they build up and build up and build up. When you're hearing it going out into the main, it's definitely a sweep, because you know you cleared it. We hope we have. We have to go back and check and see the ladies, lift up the lady's cover and make sure she's all clear.
Simon packs up the rods. But where's Bill?
He's having a cup of coffee somewhere.
Like a true professional, Bill is making sure the customer is happy.
They are nice fellas, they're bit nippy. Yeah, but mine's cold. I bet his was hot, no, it's just drank it. No, you mean you made him another one? I didn't, I ain't got enough milk.
Wait, Trigger, shut up.
A quick check, and hey presto.
And that's what it should look like.
For Bill and Simon, it's service with a smile.
Oh, sorry, it was still on. I thought it was on. Not as sorry as you are going to be. That was an accident. I didn't know there was any more water left in the hose.
There's something very satisfactory about an unblocked drain. Back in the Newcastle property, the deep clean team are hard at it and are proud of their achievements.
I left this bit because obviously, just to give an example, because it still looks quite dirty, this is the sort of difference that we've come up with in the ceiling. On my kitchen's all brilliant white tiles, which is nice and easy to clean. A lot easier to clean than this. See you later.
Job done. The lads leave the house for Tracy to give it the once-over.
All's left now is for the fumigators to come in tomorrow and spray the property to get rid of all the cockroaches and flies and fleas, etc. And then all we need then is a new kitchen.
Almost all the contents have been removed. Before there can be any new tenants, the house will have to be fumigated. In future, we can only hope this vast array of cleaning products won't be wasted. Hope springs eternal. Back in Wolverhampton, the fate of the kebab shop hangs in the balance.
So does everything get delivered to you frozen, or is any of it chilled?
This could be a textbook example of how not to prepare food for public consumption.
I found these chopping boards on the shelf there. As you can see, they're in an absolutely atrocious condition. They're deteriorated, heavily scored, and mouldy. I mean, these are atrocious. It just doesn't bear thinking about how much bacteria could be sort of lurking on these chopping boards. We'll be taking these as evidence. One of the things the chap said is that money's a bit of a problem at the moment, and we're finding lots of businesses saying the same, you know, blaming the credit crunch and things.
Ah, yes, of course. It's all the fault of the overall economic situation.
Businesses still need to maintain hygienic conditions and comply with the law. It's our job to make things better, so hopefully by the time we finish with a food premises, it's safe for everybody to eat there.
But have the excuses run out?
There are some areas that still are outstanding from previous inspections, which means that more formal action will be taken. Improvement notices will be served.
She has explained me everything what I needed, and if I have anything wrong, she has explained me this is what you need to do, and I am very grateful to her.
For now, the kebabs will go on turning, but it's the customers' stomachs they've got to worry about. When roads are built, streams are often diverted into culverts. Water in this tunnel flows beneath a roundabout in Swindon, or at least it should do. Behind these bars, debris builds up, and if the culvert becomes blocked, water will back up and cause flooding. No one's been into this culvert for a long time, and the team from the Environment Agency has no idea what they'll find.
We're getting to getting all toward the blockage. What's your foot in there? Dead fish. Little ones. Little dead fish. This is old curbstones. An old fence panel. Looks like a 6 to 8 foot fence panel. Concrete post. We don't know what's down here. And just looking at this and the length we've got to go, we just don't know what we're going to find.
Sometimes it's far worse than that. There can be gruesome discoveries.
We've actually found dead bodies in the watercourse, which it's not very nice to find someone's body, but again, it's something that you do come across, which you have to deal with.
Along with animal carcasses as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's another one we used to find, isn't it?
Yeah,
a lot of animal carcasses.
Yeah, a lot of animal carcasses. Looks like a wheel arch of something, doesn't it? This could have been thrown in anywhere, right at the top of Swindon. What the general public don't realise is what they throw in
will eventually come down here.
You get a high flow, and there's a lot of velocity of water to bring anything down. Right, we just entered the new part of the road culvert now, and now we've got the road above us.
It's not a place for the faint-hearted.
I'm not a very big lover of spiders, I'll be honest, but just get on with it. It's a job that has to be done, so you do it.
This isn't so much who done it, as what done it, and it's all got to be removed.
I suppose you have to expect the unexpected, really, don't you? Because you never know what you're going to find down in these culverts. To be honest, debris-wise, you're not sure what you're going to find. What is that? Yeah.
This looks like the polythene that they lay over electric cables as they bury them underground. We'll get it out. It'll take 2 or 3 of us to get this out, but we'll get it out. We can't leave it in here. All sorts of stuff going to happen with this in here.
With the culvert cleared, the Swindon stream sets off on its long journey to the sea. Since filming the show, the Newcastle property is teddy bear free.
They had safe, we've got rid of everything that may have been contaminated.
It's touching me arse.
Bill and Simon continue to enjoy clearing the dirtiest drains in Dagenham. And thanks to Johnny and Faye, the kebab shop owners have finally turned the corner.